offer like Betty in the bot lane.
It is more fun. It is a lot more fun to play on hit. But maybe fun not on the top of Betty's mind, as he did go lethal tempo, so he's going the on hit there.
There's actually not that much threat onto him, in all honesty. It was the main threat, I guess, is like a Leona ult. You shouldn't ever be randomly getting caught by Pretender's ball, and he doesn't have that good of a delivery system.
Yeah. It's going to be airy again for Orianna in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Pretty
Against
interesting.
Second Wind, I imagine Doran Shield, I haven't seen items, and Fleet Footwork, so as much sustain, as much survivability as possible. You don't really need the additional damage if you're a Kali in this game. You kind of will just one-shot whoever you're able to get onto. Obviously, Eminem has a bit of counterplay in the Feather Storm, but...
Yeah, assuming it's going to be down to the Nocturne ultis.
Yeah. Now, bot lane should be winning for PSG. Mid lane should be Pretender getting push, and top lane it should be Argus. So there is actually top or bot that Junjia can play around. It's really up to Pretender to deny it more than anyone else.
Yeah. I think the pressure is on PSG a little bit to get something going in the early mid game. But they do have the tools to do it. You know, they should be winning this bottom lane. And they should have a lot of priority in the top lane if they're not outright winning it, as there's a heavy trade in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Going PSG's way.
I mean, Leona, another one of those kind of pinatas at level 1. You can start Zenith Blade, but you don't want a Zenith Blade in. When your AD carries Xayah, she's very, very weak at level 1, unless paired with Rakan starting W.
Yeah. Seen Pretender get quite a bit of damage onto Maple. We'll see what he can... If he can do to Maple what Maple did to the Yone last game.
Yeah. I think Maple might be better at dealing with it. Also, Fleet Footwork makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I imagine Akali in general, just as a champ, is going to deal with it quite a bit better.
Yeah, the Shroud does offer you a little bit of safety.
Yeah.
Now, Gemini was hanging around down here, but is going to just choose to continue on and do his camps. There's also missing pings going on as camps up top side. We'll see if Junjia wants to go and try and gobble those up, as we said, push very much in favor of RJ. And I believe he's going to go look for an invade, look to put down that ward, spot out what Gemini's movements are. There it is.
Yep. Always a lot of impact on the Udyr.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like a free passage through to, I guess, level sort of 4 or 5 for your bot lane. The Udyr just pushes through, gets a ward down, spots out the jungler. You can then play more aggressively or safer, depending on information gathered.
Yeah. Though the Frank bot lane shouldn't be too hesitant going for an all-in. It is just a Nocturne.
Ooh, a bit of a disaster. Maple's actually up in CS.
Yeah. Yeah, playing very well.
Now, admittedly, as the lane progresses, until sort of items come online, it actually does get better and better for the Orianna. Of course, Akali can't really return much damage onto you at any stage, whereas the more items you get, the more damage you will be doing, and Akali doesn't want to build resistances.
Wow. This lane state for Frank's bot lane is disastrous.
Yeah, Gemini's coming here to try to break it. In the meantime, Junjia is going and claiming that Gromp, I believe, up top side. Gemini will be using that shadowed path, but not going to find a way in.
Yeah, really important that he's here, otherwise bot lane was borderline over if they had to recall there.
And top lane, not overly surprising what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Jung's going to stay. Don't know if that's the right decision or not. I mean, Wave obviously was crashing. You don't want to miss it, but did have teleport to come back if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's going to have to teleport either way.
Yeah.
So maybe he should have done it while the cannon minion was tanking the tower for him.
Yeah, lose a little bit less minions. But it will eventually be Eminem. Oh!
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Well, we thought Jimmy did well, but Pretender's just gone one-upped him. Solo killed Maple there in the mid lane, picking out first blood. And a great start to game number 3 now, at least for this mid laner.
Yeah.
The one winning lane we expected has won harder than we expected, although not in CS.
So we're going to get the replay. Maple gets chunked out by the QW. Still tries to finish shoving the wave in. Does he? Oh, he takes a tower shot.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, nothing committed from Pretender as well. Yeah, he knows he got a freebie there.
Yeah, Maple, unfortunately, just clipping Pretender there with his Q and takes a tower shot, goes down for his troubles. But an important 400 gold. This makes the lane a whole lot easier for Pretender. It already was easy enough.
Yeah, going to be a very quick lost chapter. Jax at 6 first.
Yeah, 6 doesn't matter for RJ though, but of course it does make this duel for Jax that...
Still not that great.
Better. Yeah, no, it ended up, you'd have to say, being pretty negative because he doesn't have all that much sustain. 2 refillable pots and one level too late, but he is here and there is only a ghost on this Jax.
No, on the Jax. How does he do it? That
will be yet another one. Now, he does get paranoia now. Off of that kill, Woody's in the area. It is Kaiwing here to match as well.
Too much prio for the Orianna to go on that, I think.
By the way, just seemingly out of nowhere, Junjia's 2 levels up. Yeah. Just for fun, I guess.
Yeah. I guess Gemini had to help his bot lane quite a bit.
Yeah, he did lose Gromp, but I don't think he lost much more than that. I wasn't paying attention the whole time, but yeah, Junjia found himself a level up, found himself yet another kill early on the Nocturne.
Yeah, maybe a little too overconfident from Jiang. Uses his E, goes on the Udyr. Yes, we're going to see it here. Feels like he has to do something about this wave. His jungler is coming, but actually, somehow Junjia gets between him and the Viego, and he's never expecting Nocturne there first. Yeah, just gets flashed on and killed. Junjia does it again.
That's right.
Yeah, pre-6 just walks to his Udyr lane, gets a kill.
It's so bonkers that this just happens.
Yeah, every single game.
Every single game.
Yeah.
Every other Nocturne is like level 10, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
This is the latest we've seen Junjia get a kill, level 5.
Yeah, and he ends up with a very fast level 6 for it.
Yeah. Obviously the XP being quite important there. Now, still, it's not like all is over. Of course, Gemini still has this mid lane to play around.
Yeah. Yeah, bot lane CS is going to get pretty bad though, I think. Especially with Nocturne level 6 now. Gemini does hit 6 as well, and he's around.
It always sucks when you're at the point of the game as Xayah where you're farming by pressing Q and then E.
Yeah. Yeah, not really how you wanted this lane to go, but...
I mean, blind picking Xayah kind of felt like you almost... Especially when Varus is left open and then you also choose not to ban it.
Yeah, and not being able to get the Rakan with it.
Now, I'm not even sure what their real game plan is here. Because there's not really any threat onto Betty. There's not much threat.
I'm assuming it's more of a counter gank than anything.
No, I'm meaning as the game progresses. I just mean the team composition as in general.
Oh.
Jax maybe can get his way onto the Varus, but unfortunately it has Ghost. So it's not like you can look for that flash counter-strike, which is generally how it's done.
Yeah.
And then even if you do manage to land CC, there's Cleanse, and it feels like the only CC that should be really landing is the owners. And as I say that, it's going to all land. It's all landing onto Woody, though. He does get that flash away, and he's looking like he will be able to survive. A big chunk there from Betty on Kaiwing's escape, and all things considered, not the worst trade in the world.
Yeah, it just ends up being a flash trade on the supports, and Eminem uses his Cleanse in the fight. Betty holds on to his. He's going to feel good about holding on to that against the Leona.
For sure. Everything, of course, being used onto Woody, so doesn't feel too bad. And RJ, okay. Wow, this Udyr champion is...
You have to assume eventually the Jax, once he gets his Sundered...
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same, though. Sundered Sky isn't as good as the Divine Sunder, I wouldn't think.
No, it's not. It's definitely not as good, but it does probably enough to even up the matchup at least.
Yeah,
but
perhaps.
That's looking very far away right now.
Does he even go it, though? I think a lot of Jaxes just go Titanic into Triforce, but we'll see.
I think he's going to need the sustain against this Udyr, but we'll see. We'll see what he goes for.
Maybe the wave clear is enough, though, from Titanic.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, just trading waves with Udyr, you're always going to be happy.
I mean, this is a little scary. He's very much by himself.
Yeah.
I fear for Betty's life here. Cleanse immediately. Yeah, he's going to stay alive. which is very, very important, of course. Gold was shared between Kaiwing and Gemini, so nothing picked up there from Eminem.
Actually, a pretty nice play from Frank. They were never committing to the kill there. Eminem actually just recalling. They managed to get the cleanse.
Yeah, potential re-gank opportunity there now.
Yeah, even in the 2v2, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, I think Jiang's pretty happy with a little bit of Udyr reprieve.
Yeah.
Has got the Phage. I believe that builds into Titanic and Triforce. Not sure about the Sundered Sky. I don't play bruises.
Yeah, you actually don't build that item very often.
Now, Void Grubs have spawned. I do believe it was PSG who picked up the first three.
Yeah, they did.
I'm pretty certain of that. But whose skirmish do I favor? I guess just having the Nocturne and Udyr currently, I'd have to favor them, as well as Nocturne is currently 2 levels up on the Viego.
Yeah, Akali's got to be stronger than
Orianna, yeah. Unless there's a massive shockwave, which...
Yeah, there is an item on the Orianna versus just a component on the Akali, so maybe they're going to go for it.
There should be at least one of these picked up, and with the smite it will be. Betty sidestepping out of that solar flare, and a lot of damage will be coming down onto Kaiwing. He's getting very, very low, and all attention now switched over to Eminem as Paranoia comes out. The flash, it's flashed away from Maple, is so low. But it's going to be a double kill there for Jiang as the fight turns completely on its head. Summon spells used all across the rift. But it's going to be Frank who come out on top there, picking up the 2 kills for themselves.
Yeah, really well played fight by Frank. They get the item advantage mid, and they just find a quick kill, and then Maple can't quite kill Eminem. The Xayah pick paying off there. He gets a great ulti, actually ends up forcing Junjia's flash as well.
For sure.
Let's see how this started. Because I think it was a 2-man shockwave. They're pretty split up here on PSG, and the Leona ult actually misses, but he finds a really good engage onto Woody. Has watched the Xayah this fight. Yeah, there's the shockwave, actually just hitting 1.
Oh, Junjia.
Yeah, barely living. Oh, wow. He actually gets the second R activation off.
Yeah, that was
get the kill.
So close. Oh, Maple finding a Kaiwing here. That's not a fight that Kaiwing will win, but Gemini's nearby, so it feels a little bit more scary.
Yeah, and it seems like this Leona pick really does come alive for Frank after the laning phases. We've seen 2 really rough lane phases for the Leona, but once she gets to the skirmishes, she's been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, I do fear for Frank, though. I think Betty is quietly just scaling on up here as this Varus. Really, the only person paying the price so far this game has mainly been Maple. Oh, RJ might be getting taken out here. Does get the stun. Oh,
okay.
This champ just survived. He honestly probably doesn't even have to back. He probably can just stay in lane here too.
Yeah, he's going to go maybe punch the Krugs with his W on.
Yeah. Oh, this champ is so ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly on Udyr, you're always happy to force the ult out of your opponent, and you're just going to get a free minute or so in lane where you're just not going to be killable, even on low HP.
Yeah,
he does go for the recall though. Looks like it will be Triforce. Oh, he's recalling because Jiang actually recalled and TP'd straight back.
Okay. Now, next objective, obviously spawning, is this Hextech Dragon. Riftshield is alive on the other side of the map, and it looks like Junji is actually starting it, so putting a bit more priority onto the Riftshield on the ability to clear out this mid tower, which is very, very difficult to do up against the Xayah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think PSG do have pressure on them early game. Ooh.
Okay, he dodges out of a lot here. Jiang going forward, and Paranoia does come through. Riftshield is so low, Smite will come through. Junji picking that one up for himself, and RJ going to claim it the eye. So
I imagine that means the Dragon going over to Frank. I couldn't see you contesting this without the Nocturnal.
No, I don't think you do. And that's completely fine. I think you're okay to give over 1 Dragon.
Yeah.
Although Maple, he's looking for Pretender here. Down a level. Oh, Shuriken misses. That means the trade certainly will not be winning. And Maple...
Run him down now.
Oh, okay.
Not going to go for the kill anymore. And
I think now, honestly, with this Dragon not being started, although Junji is topside, They could have actually looked for it. Maybe just going to look for this kill here.
Yeah. The bait not very convincing when Udyr is winning the fight. Anyway.
Yeah. Now, Dragon still actually remains, and so I think now Paranoia halfway from being up. Junjie might just look to clear his bot side camps and then start on this Dragon, of course. I said you don't really mind if you give it over, but certainly if you don't have to, you shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it should be the Dragon going to PSG now, probably. Orianna ult's still down for a bit.
Yeah. Junjie even just starting it up. A quarter, about 25% left on this cooldown.
You're going to be sad to lose this Dragon as Frank. I think they're scaling into this game very well, and picking up a Dragon would have slowed down a win condition in the Soul for PSG.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's because their plan was to try and kill out Maple on the bot side and then do it, but after Maple narrowly dodges the shockwave, it kind of then feels like you actually don't have the power to just straight up do the Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, Kali very hard to pick off in a side lane.
Handshake lands, coming. He's the only one there. We'll have to flash away. Gemini does arrive eventually, and the hostile takeover comes and lands, and Junjie is now going in off that as Maple trying to get to this fight. Flashes. He's going to be in the middle of the team, but that Blade Caller finds so much damage. Is going to be able to pick up one with that perfect execution. Is Maple on the Akali Pretender as well? He's just getting run down. RJ now putting his attention towards Eminem, but a little bit too risky. You're heading into their base now, and he's going to turn around and call it a shift. Two kills there.
No TP on the Jax makes that a very questionable fight to go for. He does pick up the first turret. Yeah, the first turret of the game. He could get pretty massive on this Jax. Maybe just overforced by Frank with the TP available for the Udyr.
Does this take the tower? Oh, just not. Oh, Minion got it.
Nice.
That's huge. That is actually very big, of course. Mid tower is the tower that opens up the map.
Oh, classic. Just getting baited by the pink ward. Flashes out, Gemini goes in, and it looks like it's going okay. It looks like Junjie is overcommitted, but he knows his Udyr is coming, and here goes Maple, just wreaking havoc in this fight, gets out just before the Oriole, which would have killed him. Junjie actually fails his flash.
And then just stands still.
Yeah, and then no hope of escaping the Udyr here. No one's going to kill him either.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Importantly, he does have to build MR at some stage of this game.
Yep.
So he can't just go for the unkillable 3 armor items into a full AD comp. Jax does offer a reasonable amount of magic damage, as well as, of course, Orianna, who offers pretty much only magic damage.
It's going to be Triforce into Titanic for the Jax. I think we've usually seen Triforce, Titanic, Frozen Heart.
Yeah, there was one game where we saw AP. I can't remember what he built.
Oh.
It was in week 1, but yeah, the Jax went Triforce, Titanic, and then a bunch of magic damage. I think it might have even been Storm Surge. I don't remember now, but
Zhonya's has always been a very good item on Jax.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that.
It is harder to build now, though. The components cost a lot more. You can't just get yourself a $750 or gold, get out of jail card.
I think with the Ghost, he might just not be going for that playstyle anyway with the Zhonyas. He's just going to look to get very tanky and be a menace.
Get very tanky and be a menace. He's a bit late. RG's already achieved this.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of achieved a level 1 on the Udyr.
Now, Junjia's gone for the same build as last game. Experimental Hexblade into that Frozen Heart immediately. Guinsoo's picked up now as well from Betty, so power spiking.
Yeah, very strong compared to the Xayah right now. Xayah does match well into these champions from PSG. You know, for the most part, they're all going forward into the Xayah feathers. Even Varus, short range, means that, you know, he's going to be taking a lot of damage from the Xayah.
Yeah, now everything's of course scary for the side of Frank, no matter what. They have to be fairly grouped up because there's a constant lurking fear of a paranoia coming through from this Nocturne.
Yeah. And
which pet? Oh, I like this pet.
Yeah, I love this pet.
I think this is my favorite pet.
Yeah. It feels so good to just hit the Baron.
Oh no. Okay, in comes Junjie. There is, oh my god, it's a 4-man hostile takeover. Don't mind, and the 4-man shockwave. There's 4-man everywhere as Ozzy's going to get taken out. So does Junjia. So does Wako. And what started off with an amazing ult out of Woody gets turned on its head as Pretender lands it on everyone.
Yeah, Pretender just solo winning that fight. It was looking pretty rough to start with, but yeah, 4-man Shockwave just turns it around.
Oh, no way,
Maple's
right?
in.
Maple, he's not gonna be outdone here. He is also a mid laner, and he wants to show that he's worth his weight in gold. He's not going to be able to, though.
What a flash from Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem's going to be able to flash out of that perfect execution. Now, Betty, all that remains between the side of Frank picking up their dragon and not. It is going to be claimed. Importantly, though, Death Time is now coming down. It might be dragon traded, but massive. Watch this shockwave. Watch the hostile takeover, too.
Doesn't quite clip Desire.
It does. It got cleansed, I think. But
It's
look at that.
Man. Wow, and then the Jax is just on top of your whole team. Wow. Yeah. Jax looking already pretty unstoppable in these fights now. As you see, yeah, Pretender doing 3,000 damage to that fight. Mostly just off the back of the ult and a W.
Okay, now, honestly, despite what's happened there, if this Baron doesn't find too much, gold does remain fairly even.
Yeah.
And Dragons are in favor of PSG. Junjia, you have to be very careful. He's just walking on in. He's going to get stunned up. Going to have to flash. Solid player will miss.
Yeah. Yeah. Flashes away and the solar flare. Unfortunately, whiffs.
Yeah, RG now. Oh my goodness, the fights. They're coming fast. They're coming hard. RG getting very, very low. Flash forward from Gemini. Will confirm that kill. Eminem being the receiver of the gold.
As this might just be a repeat of game 1. Different mid laner, same story. Just a really clutch team fight from behind. Completely turns the game around. Wins them Baron.
Yeah, massive, massive ultimate there out of Pretender. And
yeah,
looks like they'll be able to pick themselves up this dragon. Maple as well. He's feeling a lot safer than he looks on my screen. In comes all this damage and goodbye Akali.
Do those items build anything on Pretender? Yeah, he's just got the alternator. He built the alternator and then just switched to Leandri's, I guess. As Maple just gets one shot here. I was surprised how easy this was. Jax a lot of burst, Orianna a lot of burst. Maple just barely any time to even react. No flash.
For sure. Oh boy, the gold graph is looking awfully familiar.
Yeah, this is going to be very hard for PSG now. Who needed an early game lead, got it, but then just one fight and it fell apart.
Yeah, for sure. Not all over, though. Of course, there's a lot of playmaking potential on the likes of Akali where you can find someone caught out of position.
Yeah.
Although Junjia, he doesn't have flash this time. He's going to get stunned up. He will be going down. He's looking to confirm that red buff before he does, but with the reset coming through, won't be able to. And now you've just got another 30 seconds with a 4v5 on your hands. Seems like the theme of the last 3 or so minutes. Baron will be going down, though, and Varus, even though it's not the lethality, will be able to start clearing out these minion waves. So ultimately, base won't be broken.
Yeah,
but a 5k gold swing is massive.
I'm impressed how much value they've as an ult goes on to Varus.
Chain of Corruption does come out. Climbing Handshake will land and very minimal amount of damage in return, but...
Ooh, that's getting pretty close to a one-shot.
Awfully. I think this Hextech Alternator is about to turn into a Storm Surge.
Yep.
Most likely. I mean, it could also
be the Shadow Flame.
No, the Shadow Flame doesn't build an Amp Tome, so it should be Storm Surge. Yeah, Aether Wisp, so... I mean, in theory...
Could be the Lich Bane.
Could be Lich Bane.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see that.
I think they have seen it once before, but...
On the Orianna?
Yeah, it wasn't in PCS. I think it was in LCK even.
Oh.
Now, PSG have to do a little bit better in the next sort of few minutes at remaining all 5 alive, because that's kind of where they've been faltering.
Yeah, the Leona pick has just been a menace. Kaiwing just running around the map. A lot of the time engaging on the Nocturne before he gets a chance to engage himself. And if you're Junjia, you are... I don't know what your plan is this game, because you jump on this Orianna. It has to be the Orianna, because the Xayah can just too easily escape through her ult or just punish you for going deep.
Yeah, I mean, the alternative, I suppose, is... and it's not ideal when you're Nocturne, but you can use the ult, just as simple vision than I.
Yeah, it's still a very high utility ultimate.
Yeah. Obviously, you do want to be using it to get yourself
There's a
in
flank
there.
TP.
Oh, Maple's found himself an angle, and he won't be spotted on this pink ward because of the paranoia, and they found his way onto this Orianna, who is now going to be able to get away, but Jiang is not going to be dealing with anything here. Junjie narrowly getting away with his life as Jiang now finds his way onto Betty, but it's Maple who's turning around a lot of damage, and RJ's remaining fairly high on health here, up against Eminem on the Xayah. One traded back, both top laners will be going down. Featherstorm and the Blade Caller, both very, very good. Piercing Arrow as well. Finds his mark there onto Eminem, who will survive just barely, and PSG making it work. Betty
Miracle
is
team
very,
fight.
very strong.
Yeah, he got 850 gold off the Jax shutdown too. He's going to be happy with that. Maybe he can win them this game. It looked disastrous for PSG with both their carries out of position and the Jax coming in, but they actually just managed to kill him. They kite out the Jax and take him out.
For sure. And now, maybe with that shutdown, Terminus can be purchased. We'll see.
Maple comes in, and this is part of the mayhem that the Nocturne ult causes. You don't see the Akali for a long time. Gemini zoning him out. Xayah actually maybe too early with the ult there. Jax gets onto 3, but he's not on the carries, who are, to me, looked way out of position, but no Jaxi means Varus is going to shred him down really quickly here. Maple had a great fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty sidestepping the Orianna ult there as well.
Yeah, Betty's crazy. Oh. Well, I think we might be turning into one of those games where it gets to full items and we get to see the AD carries really show just how good they are.
Yeah.
Now, neither of them are slouches. I've seen both of these guys get to a 60-minute game and absolutely take over.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Betty definitely has the harder job this game, I would say.
Unsafer, but definitely more damage when it comes to those late game isolated sort of one person damage.
Yeah, if he ever gets onto this Jax, as you saw that last fight, without the Jax counter-strike up, he just shreds him.
3 items as well, by the way. He does complete his Terminus now, so the more auto attacks he's able to get off in these team fights, the more tanky, as well as the more armor and magic pen he gets. Obviously, Varus being one of the few champions that benefit off both of those stats.
Yeah, PSG not interested in contesting the dragon. I believe it was only the second dragon for Frank.
Yeah.
So just take advantageous fights around your base.
For sure. Now, Betty, he's trying to get to his next few items. This Baron will get aggroed as Kaiwing's actually taken a fairly substantial chunk of damage.
Jax goes for...
Mechanic?
I can never remember.
Mechanic Raccoon?
Yeah, it gives you like the Galio passive shield.
Yeah.
Pretty
Storm Surge
makes sense though, because the Varus is doing a lot of magic damage too, on top of the Akali and the Udyr.
For sure.
Storm Surge on the Orianna, not surprised.
And LDR as well. Big item spikes really across the board.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll go for maybe a Zonya's or just a straight up Death Cap. I know what Shock would want him to build.
That's right.
But could be a lot of value in the Zonya's, because he is Nocturne's only target this game.
Yeah, okay. Handshake lands, but without Varus there, you're never really going to be shredding through this Leona.
Eminem steals a Raptor. Steals the big Raptor, I think.
Ooh. Always feels good.
Yeah.
Now, Frank, I think, feel like they're in the driving seat and driver's seat either, and I feel like they are as well, but we saw last fight, it's not so clear. Betty has both summoners now. Really, every summoner except for Pretender's Flash is up and available.
Yeah.
So there is a slight timing here, really, if Junjie finds the angle to pull the trigger where this Orianna will be a bit more vulnerable than really anyone else, but that's quickly closing. In fact, I think there's only about 5 to 10 seconds left on it. And now Frank are going to start to hit this Baron, so...
It is dying so quickly.
Yeah, Xayah absolutely shreds it with the 3 items, of course. Woody going to be arriving here, going to be able to get that ward down. Teleport will be coming through here. RG on the top side. Maple as well as Junjie. Junjie just strolls on in and claims it, and he said, yeah, that's mine, fellas. The fight is actually going to go off despite the fact that they were able to just pick that up. In comes Jiang, though, and he's found the 2 carries. Betty's got to try and get a respawn. He's not going to be able to. And it's chaos It's chaos absolutely everywhere. Maple, he's going to find one kill back here onto Pretender as Arj's running for his life. Maybe has the movement speed to get out of there. It looks like he will. Maple now is trying to take this 1v1 up against Viego, but Jung's going to make it not so much of a 1v1.
Yeah, Maple definitely going down here, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely does.
What a good fight from Jiang. He finds the backline.
Why did PSG fight that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They got the steal. Well, you'll see when the replay comes up, Pretender is in a horrible spot that fight. He looks like he's caught really far out of position, but he has a great flash to get him back in position. As you see, Junjia just
strolls on it. Like, yoink.
Just walks in and smite it. No Q, no nothing.
That was at 1700, by the way. So the Xayah feathers at the same time.
Yeah, you don't really see it there, but Pretender was way out of position, making them feel like they could go on him. But yeah, Jiang just says, "Betty, you are not carrying a thing." Gets on top of him and. No Renata ult, no handshake up to deal with the Jax at all.
Arjun just auto attacks.
Yeah.
Kaiwing down and
you're seeing
at the same
difference.
time.
You're seeing the difference when you can get a scaling pick into the Udyr and actually survive the lane. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
In terms of impact.
For sure. Claiming the last one there, of course, but it was important. Obviously, PSG picked up that Baron. Did all go down afterwards.
Yep.
Did noticeably, though, end up 1,000 gold in the benefit, so not all the worst. Betty also kept his flash. He's actually the only person in the game with flash right now.
Yeah, he's gonna probably be needing it against Leona Jax, maybe an Orianna ult.
I mean, that's one of the cool things about that pit as well, by the way. The Jax just strolled on through the bottom open crevasse to stun them stuck in that Baron pit.
Yeah, it feels nice with Renata too, because they're going to be generally funneled up to the top side.
Redemption now completed on the Renata, speaking of. So that can be something to help Betty survive, help out in these team fights, of course. They do tend to go on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I think that is a fairly good pickup. Looks like Knight's Vow is the choice for Kaiwing. Not sure how I feel about the Knight's Vow. I mean, it can't be that bad, of course, but I think I like the Redemption a little bit better, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really it's not really Xayah taking over this game. So Redemption would help the Jax out quite a lot.
Absolutely. Now, third Dragon alive. It'll be third for either team. PSG do have the first move, and
they're not going to
I don't think they care. I think they're just going to go claim themselves 2 inhibs. At least one recall's coming through. Arj's already basically back there. This is definitely 1 inhib, if not 2, that is going to be going down.
Should be 2.
Maple
honestly.
is going up to the top side there. Is he able to clear out the wave? He's actually just going to get jumped on. Oh,
nice
fantastic Zhonya's. Chain of Corruption will land. It's onto Kaiwing, not the ideal target. Betty flashing away from that counter-striking Jax, who does get hostile takeovered. RZ now trying to run on forward. It's very low health bars. They are able to keep at least 1 inhibitor alive. But 1 definitely does go down. It is, importantly though, soul point now for PSG, but Frank's certainly feeling very confident about their chances here in this game.
Yeah, great Zhonya's from Maple. Avoids disaster there, but this Jax is looking very unkillable. He got caught by the Renata ulti and a handshake there with his E down, and I thought he might be in trouble, but as you can see, he's feeling okay. He's not too roughed up.
For sure. Crypt Bloom now picked up as well for this Akali, so a little bit more power, but honestly, I think the time for Akali to shine is kind of come and gone. Zhonya's obviously used, well, not the Zhonya's, but the Safeguard active, and looking to pick up that Zhonya's because we saw how critical it was. If that shockwave lands, I think PSG just get wiped. Yeah,
the game might be over off of that.
Betty as well lost Flash in that fight, so went from being the only person with Flash in the game to the only person without it very quickly. And that's kind of one problem about not using your Flash in a fight. Even if you're gonna die, sometimes it's just better to have synced flashes.
Yeah, because...
Not always, of course, because there are moments where you having your flash can win you the game.
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes when you're the only guy with flash up, your team just doesn't want to fight anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be probably a Zhonya's last item on the Jax. And he is just unkillable. There is no help coming for this Varus killing the Jax.
Yeah, it is pretty much all up to him. But he has his work cut out for him. Has picked himself up at wit's end. So a little bit of magic resist against this Zhonya's that's being built, as well as, of course, the Orianna.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Orianna not having any pen and not getting it anytime soon means that it's going to be a lot of value off of the wit's end.
Varus also going for the Zhonya's, picking himself up the Seeker's Arm Guard.
Yeah, I like it. I wonder if he'll fully upgrade the Zhonya's or just wants the Seekers. Varus uses AP reasonably well.
Yeah, he'll upgrade it. It's just the Seekers is the current old stopwatch, and in goes Jinjia. The Zhonya's will come out here off Pretender. Maple sitting in the back line, though, does have ult, lands the Shuriken. It's a 1-for-1. Viego going down, Jinjia going down, and PSG on the run. Perfect execution will get Maple far away from this Jax, who's actually getting burnt to a crisp by this Varus. Feather Blade Caller will come through as Eminem now. He's on the front foot. Young, so many low health bars, and Kaiwing will land the Zenith Blade onto Betty, who does go golden, but it's all coming up. Eminem, Maple is the last alive. He's got so much to do and no way to do it. It's gonna be Frank against all odds, who pick up game number 3 and take the series 2-1.
Yeah, and you said it was going to be the ADC show. Eminem really showing up in that last fight. As you can see by his damage, he went crazy that fight. He landed a giant ulti on the entire team of PSG, actually flashed to make sure the feathers finished off Jinjia.
Yeah.
Pretty good.